दुए हेलो दुए हाँ हेलो आउट कर असल में जो एक्सपीरियंशियल फंक्शन होला ना ये होला स्टाइल एज चॉइस जानला तो कौन रे भूत आगल हो भागल वान ले
function, it emphasizes on style as choice, this concept, right? So it emphasizes on this concept. That's correct. Now tell me if this version is correct. So the experiential function is an important marker of style, especially so of the style of narrative discourse, as in to say that it is an important marker of style, especially of style as narrative discourse. Is it correct?
Experiential function focuses on style as choice. ठीक है It also focuses on style as narrative discourse.
Yeah, that's very true. The experiential function is an important marker of style. So the first thing that we talked about is what does it emphasize on? Well, it emphasizes on a concept. The concept is style as choice. Style, कैसा style? Style, choice की तरह. Style as choice. ठीक है? The experiential function emphasizes on this concept. And also, it is a marker. It is a marker of style. It is a marker of style and especially of style of narrative discourse. Of narrative discourse. You know, like narrative, you are narrating. So that kind of speech would be a narrative discourse and especially talks about this experiential function. It especially marks this kind of narrative discourse. That's true. Hey, I'm back. I'm back. But where were you? Where have you gone? Where have you been? Actually, I had gone to eat anda roll.
Anda roll?
Oh, I love anda roll. Especially the chili ones.
Anda roll?
RK anda roll and chow mein.
RK anda roll and chow mein center.
And besides RK anda roll and chow mein center, we had a poster. Do you remember this poster? The poster, the grand orchestra poster. What was the name? Can you tell me? It was the grand, the one and only. Don't irritate me. Tell me the name of the orchestra. It was Dil Jale Orchestra. What more do you want to know about it?
Dil Jale.
Dil Jale Orchestra. Now, tell me. So, what kind of translation is involved when someone conveys the communicative effect of the source? To convey the communicative effect of the source. What is this kind of translation called? Interlinear translation. That the kind of translation to convey the communicative effect of the source. So when you communicate, you have certain effect. So we are not conveying what has been communicated, but the effect of the communication that was, the effect that the communication, and we are actually translating that. We are conveying that effect of the source. So that's interlinear translation. Now, What is the study of multi-word expressions called? Multi-word expressions. What can it be associated with? With which study can the study of multi-word expression be associated? Well, that's phraseology. The study of multi-word expressions is called phraseology. Tell me, the entries in dictionaries arranged according to a code that is accessible to all so that a dictionary can be consulted quickly and easily. This process of coding is called what? So, the entries in the dictionary, it is not talking about digital dictionary. And the arrangement here is according to a code which is accessible to all. Right? It does not talk about any sort of sequence, but talks about something like a code which is accessible to everyone. And this makes it easily consultable by everyone. So what is this process? And this process of coding is known as graphic form. The entries in the dictionary are arranged according to a code which is accessible to everyone. So there is actually an arrangement according to a code. This arrangement is according to a code. And that arrangement makes it accessible to all, accessible to everyone. And because it is now accessible to everyone, so the dictionary can be consulted quickly and easily. So this process of coding is known as graphic form. Now let's talk about interpreter and as well as a compiler, right? So let's go ahead. What do you know about interpreter and compiler? So interpreter directly executes instructions written in a programming language without previously compiling them into a machine language program. So what interpreter does is that it directly executes the instructions. You give an interpreter some instructions, and what it goes ahead and does is that it directly executes this instruction that is written in the programming language without previously compiling them into a machine language program. So generally what happens is that you write some instructions in the programming language and it is compiled into a machine language program before execution, but interpreter does it directly. Why not? And you're correct. An interpreter may parse the source code and perform its behavior directly. It may parse this thing that is a source code and it can perform its behavior directly. And then the next point, an interpreter may translate the source code into some efficient intermediate representation and immediately execute this. That is to say that an interpreter may translate the source code. It can translate this source code into an efficient intermediate representation. Into what? Well, into a representation which is intermediate and efficient as well. So this representation has two features. It is immediate and it is intermediate, not final, and efficient, and immediately execute efficient, and it can perform its behavior directly. And then the next point, an interpreter may translate the source code into some efficient intermediate representation and immediately execute this. That is to say that an interpreter may translate the source code. It can translate this source code into an efficient intermediate representation. Into what? Well, into a representation which is intermediate and efficient as well. So this representation has two features. It is immediate and it is intermediate, not final, and efficient, and immediately execute. Well, yeah, that's correct. It can translate the source code into some efficient intermediate representation and immediately execute this translation of the source code. The translation of the source code, which is an efficient intermediate representation. The next point, an interpreter may explicitly store precompiled code that is made by a compiler, which is a part of the interpreter system. An interpreter, so you have an interpreter, it may explicitly store precompiled code that was made by the compiler. So there's a thing called compiler, and it compiles codes. So it has been compiling codes, and now alright, I got you. So it can, this compiler has been compiling, and what the interpreter does here is that it stores all the codes that have been compiled by the compiler, the precompiled codes. An interpreter, it stores this precompiled code that was made by the compiler, and so then comes this information which says that the compiler is a part of the interpreter system itself. So the compiler is within the interpreter, and the interpreter, it stores the code, the precompiled code that was compiled by the compiler, and in turn this compiler is a part of the interpreter system. Enough of this interpreter compiler thing. Now tell me who is associated with HBSG? HBSG, well, it's bolded and said, and GPSG is reserved for Gazda. G for GPSG, C for Gazda. Now tell me if this assertion is correct. So The fifth generation computer systems, FGCS, was a project which was aimed to create a computer using massively parallel computing processing. FGCS was aimed to create a computer using massively parallel computing processing. Is it true? Yeah, that's true. And it is incorrect about, FGCS. In this, the first, that is fifth, it is used in the name to denote the 5th anniversary of Emperor of Japan. That's incorrect. Now tell me if this assertion is correct or incorrect. So PC Kimmo is a tool for phonological analysis that is available since 1985. Is it correct? अच्छा पहले ये बताओ कि PC Kimmo क्या होला? जौन लैंग्वेज का भाषा का जौन PC Kimmo डिस्क्रिप्शन वाला उनमें क्या चीज इंक्लूड होला वो होला का? तो ये बताओ पूरा बताओ थी. अच्छा तो मतलब ऐसे ना मंगी तो PC Kimmo बताओ थे ना तो PC Kimmo में दो फाइल होले. पहला वाला रूल्स फाइल और दूसरा क्या होला लेक्सिकॉन फाइल. रूल्स फाइल में क्या होला तो उनमें स्पेलिंग या चाहे फोनोलॉजिकल रूल्स जो होनी वर्ड का ठीक है ये होनी रूल्स फाइल में लेक्सिकॉन फाइल के बाद जो दूसरा क्या होला उनमें क्या होला तो उनमें ये होला कि उनमें जो लेक्सिकल आइटम है कोनो भी लैंग्वेज का विथ इट्स ग्लॉसिंग माने ओकर मतलब भी बताओ रहला उनमें लेक्सिकल आइटम रहला ओकर ग्लॉसिंग कर रहला ठीक है अब मॉर्फोटैक्टिक कंस्ट्रेंट भी जो जितनी मॉर्फोटैक्टिक कंस्ट्रेंट है मॉर्फोलॉजी और सिंटैक्स पे जो कंस्ट्रेंट है मिला के वर्ड पे जो लगा थी ठीक है जल्दी करवा देता कैसे दिखाओ जाए ये देखिए लेक्सिकॉन फाइल और रूट फाइल ये दो से PC Kimmo में होने अभी अब हमको बताओ मतलब कुछ नहीं बता अच्छा सही है ये वाला सही बताइए लेक्सिकॉन फाइल होला और रूट फाइल होला सही है अब हम क्या पूछ रहे हैं कि PC Kimmo is a tool for phonological analysis that is available since 1985 तो ये गलत है अब तू बताओ कि हालांकि जो कि टूल अब जो कि डेवलप ना करना था लेकिन अभी भी ये यूज करने वाला डॉक्यूमेंटेशन खत्म तो this tool is no longer being actively developed. It is still available for documentation. Is it so? हाँ ये सही है कि अभी ये मैंने डेवलप ना किया जाता लेकिन ये अभी भी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन खातिर यूज किया जा रहा है. That's very true. Now tell me about Kolhapur corpus. You went to Kanpur, right? So why don't you tell me about the Kolhapur corpus? Oh, so you know about my visit. I actually had gone not to Kanpur but Agra. Why does it matter? Why don't you tell me about the Kolhapur corpus right now? कहीं भी गए आप क्या बताना कोल्हापुर कॉर्पस के बारे में बता. अच्छा बता रहा हूँ भाई अभी साथ है तो क्या काम नहीं है. सुन कोल्हापुर कॉर्पस was about a million words. मिलियन में कितने हुए 10 लाख ठीक है. And Shivaji University. This work was based at Shivaji University. Shivaji University कहाँ है Shivaji University? तेरे कांड में पहुँच गई क्या? कानपुर में और कहाँ है? शिवाजी यूनिवर्सिटी वही रोड के बाहर में लगा है. यहाँ जो बहुत बड़ा कैंपस है. मतलब कहीं तो तू था बता नहीं गई थी. हाँ ये बात सही बोली तूने. ये बड़ा तो था बहुत मतलब भले ही लंबाई कैंपस था but it was quite a campus. So yes, Shivaji University. And S.V. Shastri is associated, one name that is associated with this work. Also V.V. Bhadwe, if you remember. Yeah, I recall. V.V. Bhadwe. Now tell me if this assertion is correct. So in certain languages, like English, WH phrases generally come to occupy their scope position by WH movement. तो ऐसे कुछ किन्हीं languages में जैसे कि English हो गया, तो ऐसे languages में WH phrases, जो WH words होते हैं, what when. So these words, these phrases, they come to occupy their scope position by WH movement. Is it correct? Yes, that's correct. कुछ ऐसे languages में जिसमें कि जैसे English हो गया, तो इसमें WH phrases they come to their position by WH movement. Now tell me if this assertion is correct. So in certain languages like Hindi, the WH phrases they do not go any WH movement. They instead remain in situ, that is in the same position. Is it correct? हाँ ये सही है. जैसे कि मैंने आम खाया. You can say मैंने क्या खाया. But instead if you see this in English, you would say I ate a mango. And this in a WH question form would be what did you eat? What did you eat? So yeah, that's true. Now tell me, in which language does the WH phrase generally come to occupy its scope position by WH? That's English, right? Now tell me if this assertion is correct. So one of the chief goals of the generalized phrase structure grammar is to show that syntax of natural languages can be described by context-free grammar. GPSC का well मतलब मतलब जीपीएससी का ये गोल है कि दैट्स अ करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. फर्स्टली लेट मी से जीपीएससी का ये जो कि मतलब इसका एक एम है कि नेचुरल लैंग्वेज को कंटेक्स्ट फ्री ग्रामर से डिस्क्राइब किया जा सकता है. To show that the syntax of the natural language can be described by context-free grammar. That's the aim of generalized phrase structure grammar. Now tell me if this version is correct. So GPSG is a reaction against transformational theories of syntax, and its notational extensions are claimed to make the transformations redundant. So जो transformations होते हैं मतलब कि उनको redundant बना देता है. ये सही है? Well, yeah, that's true. GPSG actually ये जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल थियरीज थी जैसे कि चॉम्स्की की जो थियरी थी उनके अगेंस्ट ये कहता है कि मतलब कि जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस है वो रिडंडेंट है. रिडंडेंट इन द सेंस कि दे अकर द सेम थिंग अकर्स ओवर एंड ओवर. सो दैट्स अ करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. जीपीएससी believes that the transformation theories of syntax are redundant. That's a correct statement. Now tell me ECM verbs. Give me examples of exceptional case marking verbs. Want or expect. I expect to do this. I want to go uphill. So these are the two types of exceptional case marking verbs, ECM verbs. Now tell me, what does AGRSP stand for? AGRSP क्या होता है? Well, AGRP stands for Agreement Subject Phrase. So that's AGRP, Agreement Subject Phrase. Now tell me if this assertion is correct. Autosegmental phonology allows phonological processes like vowel harmony of tone to influence more than one vowel or consonant at a time. Autosegmental phonology allow करता है कि phonological processes जैसे कि vowel harmony of tone, tone का जो vowel harmony है वो क्या कर सके तो वो influence कर सके ज़्यादा से एक से ज़्यादा vowel या consonant को. एक ही समय पे एक से ज्यादा vowel या consonant को अफेक्ट कर सके. तो क्या ये सही है? हाँ बिल्कुल सही है कि autosegmental phonology does allow phonological processes like vowel harmony of tone to influence more than one vowel or consonant at a time. That's correct. Now tell me, so in such an analysis where in the autosegmental phonology, where the phonological process of vowel harmony, so in such an analysis, the tone is a property of the whole word. Is it a correct statement? Yes, that's true. In autosegmental phonology, it allows phonological processes like vowel harmony to influence one or more vowel or consonant at a time. And it's true that in such an analysis, tone is the property of the whole word. एक पूरे word का property होता है tone. That is a correct statement. Now tell me, so in English the word domestic changes to domesticity. This change can be formulated in which way? मतलब कि इसको कैसे formulate किया जा सकता है? domesticity में बनता है तो ये change कैसे formulate करो इसको? Ka changes to sa in the environment of ITI. मतलब का arrow indicating towards S, K indicating towards S, forward slash, that is in the environment of, and then ITI. मतलब कि एक वो जो hyphen होता है उसके बाद ITI. So that is how it can be formulated. Now tell me, so minimal pairs, what do they, like how do minimal pairs help? What can be identified by minimal pairs? Phonemes. Phoneme is what can be identified by a minimal pair. So that's phoneme. Minimal pair helps in the identification of phonemes. Now tell me if this assertion is correct. So in lexical phonology, the lexicon has a productive role. It consists of ordered levels in which certain phonological and morphological processes take place. Is this a correct statement? Yeah, that's true. In the lexical phonology, the lexicon has a productive role and it consists of ordered levels in which certain phonological and morphological processes take place. That's correct. Now tell me if this assertion is correct. So lexical phonology accounts for the interactions of morphology of syntax. Is it a correct statement? No, that is incorrect. The lexical phonology accounts for the interactions of morphology and phonology, not morphology of syntax. That's incorrect. Now select the correct sequence from smaller to larger unit. So, food, syllable, prosodic word. Arrange them in a sequence. So the correct sequence here, it would be syllable, food, and then prosodic word. Syllables, food consists of one or more syllables, and prosodic word consists of one or more syllables, so that's a word. Now, tell me about communicative competence. Communicative competence. Tell me about it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know about communicative. Something I can tell you is that Delvin's proposed communicative competence, but I don't know what communicative competence is. I'm so sorry. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Communicative competence. I mean, it's very simple. A learner should use language appropriately according to the context. Because communicative competence includes grammatical competence and social competence. So that's it. That's a very easy thing to explain. Communicative competence. The context here determines the kind of language that should be used, and the process of socialization plays an important role in language learning. So I don't think there is any sort of complexity here. And a grammatical competence is not the only competence required for communication, according to the communicative competence. So that's a very easy thing. Why can't you explain it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not know about it. I mean, now that you've told me, I do know about it, but I mean, it was not such an easy thing to know. That's all I mean. Now tell me, who is associated with speech act theory? I mean, that's a dwindling question. If you see speech act theory, it was SSAA, that is Austin. J.L. Austin is associated with speech act. But even John Rogers Searle contributed to the speech act theory. So remember this, there are two names associated with speech act theory. J.L. Austin and John Rogers Searle. Now tell me, hey dude, what's up? What is this an example of? The English sentence, hey dude, what's up? What is... I certainly will remember these two people. These two people that are associated with speech act theory. Now, hey dude, what's up? This is an example of stylistic radiation. That's an example of stylistic radiation. Now, go ahead and tell me, what is the sequence of the steps in the standardization of language? The first step is selection, then codification, then elaboration, then implementation. So selection, codification, elaboration, and then implementation is the last step in the standardization of language. Now, tell me about the step is selection, then codification, then elaboration, then implementation. So selection, codification, elaboration, and then implementation is the last step in the standardization of language. Now, tell me about diglossia. What is diglossia? Diglossia? Diglossia was written by Charles Darwin. Tell me more about it. Elaborate. What is diglossia? That's what I'm asking. I'm not talking about. I'm not asking about the profounder of diglossia. Tell me, what is diglossia? Oh, that. I don't know. I don't have much idea about diglossia. I'm so sorry. What do you mean you don't know?